Flippin' Fantastic Podcast. I'm Pen SSK Promo.
That's our special guest.
Yes.
That was
It's Headshot Ken. Oh, now I'm blurry. Hello? Camera?
he's
All right,
SSK
we'll
is
just
promo is sabotaging the podcast. What's up with that?
come on. Oh. Is it better now? I think it is. Okay.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing?
Hi, everybody. So let's talk about your weekend. I'll talk about mine, but it pales in comparison, I'm sure. How was the Trash
Go ahead.
Cash Bash?
It was so fun. I had such a good time. I can just start from the beginning because, like, instantly after getting there, it was just chaos, late nights, early mornings, not a lot of sleep. My feet hurt.
Vegas,
My
baby!
body hurts. Everything hurts. Well, to start off, when did we leave? We left Wednesday night. Our flight was supposed to be at like 8:45 from Omaha, and we are a couple hours away from Omaha. So we started on our way there. Halfway there, into our trip to Omaha, we get an email, and I tell my husband, I'm like, hey, can you check my phone? I got an email from Southwest. I want to make sure our flight wasn't delayed. They delayed it 2 hours. So we're like, we were going to go to Omaha to eat, but then we're like, oh, now we have basically a couple hours to kill. Did that. Finally got out from the Omaha airport, had a layover in Denver, which was also delayed several times because I guess they were having some crazy weather. Finally got on a plane, sat in line to de-ice the plane for like 45 minutes, and then we flew out. We got to Vegas around 3:30 local time, which is 5:30 our time. Stayed up. We had a really good view in our room. That was easy. It was nice and quiet because it was super late. And trying to think what else. I'm trying not to miss anything. We wake up the next day at like 11:30. And then I see that Dave tagged me in. We had a Vegas Discord for this event. Dave tagged me. He's like, do you want to go to Omega Mart with Tina and I? And I was like, oh, like Dave asked us to go with him somewhere. I'm all excited. I asked my husband, I'm like, hey, you want to go to this? It's this Omega Mart. It's like I'm trying to think. It's like an art experience type of thing.
I've never been, but that's what it looked like.
Yeah, it's by this company called Meow Wolf because they have one in Denver as well. That's very similar, but it's like this really trippy like art experience. There's also like a scavenger hunt thing you could do. It was like $65 a ticket, so it's a little expensive. We went. It was so fun. If you look at Dave's video, we're in it just a little bit, and you can see kind of what it was like while we were there.
Yeah, I like that Dave said, he goes, no one else, Kevin and Carrie sleep too late, but you're up only because you never went to bed.
Yeah, we kind of slept in there, but
yeah.
My cats are over there making noise. Then I'm trying to think what happened later that day. We get back, and I think there was something going on that Thursday night. Oh yeah, there was a meetup at the hotel, the MGM Grand, with just all of us. I guess Dave, Kevin, and Carrie all showed up, but they showed up before I arrived because everyone else was there. We went out to eat somewhere else, and then decided to join with everyone after we were done. So we sat there, met everyone, stayed up pretty late. Well, it was late for us, but we were just also severely like jet lagged and exhausted since we woke up and found out that we were going to go with Dave to Omega Mart, which was so fun. The next day was, I think it was the bins. So this was Friday morning, right? Yeah, Friday morning. People in Vegas at the bins are really, really, really rude. So like all of us have figured out rides.
They don't let you
record
at the bins.
I was getting upset. So like,
oh wow,
we show up. We all got rides with whoever got there, and so little groups started just piling in. We all were in a group in the parking lot, and then people were just kind of standing there, and I didn't really know what was going on. So I just went in kind of before other people, and there's other people in there. I think Resell the Ride and her wife were in there, so I got to meet them in person and stuff like that. Then I just started going at it at the bins. The way this bins is set up is it's like split in half. So they'll bring out new stuff on one half of the store, and then while everyone's going through that half, they'll take the other half of the store, wheel it all out, bring out new stuff. So it's just flip-flop back and forth. Right. Well, while we were sitting in there, I was just digging, and all of a sudden I hear people booing, and I'm like, I didn't realize what had happened. I thought someone was just booing at another person, but what I found out was basically the big group of all the other resellers that were still outside came in, and all the like regulars there were booing them. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize that until after, because when we were waiting for them to let us start digging through the new stuff, there was this guy there, and he was just talking crap about Carrie the whole time. And he just would not shut up. And I hate that. I think that's very ugly behavior. I feel like we need to help each other, not
it's
this guy
trash
was all like
behavior. Yeah.
Oh, and it was so funny because this guy, when I think about it, he pisses me off. I didn't like the way this guy acted at all. But Kevin and his wife kind of came up to me as we were waiting for this other section. This guy was just talking crap over and over, kept talking. And then he goes up to Kevin. He's like, I think he said something like, "Oh, are you with that group?" And Kevin's like, "Yeah." And this guy goes, "All those YouTube resellers are fake." He's like, "I've been doing this for 14 years. This is hard work." And then I had mentioned that, I think, to Corey.
Yeah.
And he had said, reselling is only as hard as you make it, which I feel is very true.
It's true.
So I don't know what this guy's doing that he's like, "Oh, it's hard work. I've been doing it for 14 years, blah, blah, blah." Anyways, but other than the crap talking, it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like t-shirt bros there. They're kind of snobby. They're kind of like, they got their own little crew, and they're all like, I don't know, like think they own the bins or something. Anyways, but that was fun. We found some cool stuff. A lot of people found some cool stuff. And then Dave bought a whole cart of plush, like a cart overflowing with plush. And they gave it to him for $15 for the whole thing. And right on top was a Build-A-Bear Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
That alone, I'm like, that alone should make your money back. And on the whatnot, he literally made $15 on it. Well, someone won it for $15.
Yeah.
We didn't go to the live whatnot because the next morning, we went to eat at In-N-Out, and then a bunch of us went and hit a couple of estate sales. There was like a caravan of like 3 or 4 cars. We all went and hit some estate sales. The next morning, me, Grandma and Pops, Teresa and Corey, Resell the Ride, Xena and Jessica, and Grumpy Picker and Happy Picker. Their names have escaped me for some reason. All of us, we rented a van and went garage selling Saturday morning, which was so fun. Corey has some good footage of this in one of his videos, but we were, there's this community sale. We're driving around trying to find stuff, and we drove by, and there was this garage with boxes out. And we drive by, and someone goes, "Oh, are you having a garage sale?" And they're like, "No, we're just throwing stuff away." And we're just like, "Oh, okay." And we keep driving. And one of us is like, "We should turn around and ask them if we can pay them to dig through their stuff." So we turn around. Corey pops out and asks them. They say yes, and a bunch of us find some really cool stuff. Jessica got this giant plush Squishmallow Chewbacca.
Ooh, cool.
Like, they were just throwing it away. I got 2 PlayStation 3 controllers. That was pretty much all I got from there, in a little Converse glasses case. You'll see it in my haul video coming up later this week. I'm trying to think what else people got. There was plush. I'm trying to think what else. Anyways, we filled up the back of this van. Both Teresa and I bought a luggage set, and we split it so that way we can bring more crap home. So we ended up buying so much, which is fine because each person with Southwest can check 2 bags, and I only checked 1 bag. So, and then my husband could also check 1 too. So we took back 4 bags. That was really fun. Then we did Fremont Street. What was that? That was Friday night. Okay, so I skipped a little. Then we did Fremont Street. I don't really have much to say about that. I wore a GoPro, but the thing is, I'm so short that literally all you can see is like people's backs.
You're not that
Yeah,
short though. How tall are you?
I'm about as tall as Dave. Speaking of,
I
Dave
mean,
is really short.
I know. I guess when yeah, because that's how tall I am. But I guess when there's a lot of
Mhm.
people around and you're in a crowd, yeah, it's no good.
Yeah.
You need to put it on your head.
Yeah, I should have brought the head mount. That would have been pretty funny. Or I should have had my husband wear it or something. But anyways, I wear the GoPro. I need to go through all the footage and like see if there's really anything I could put in a video. And I also wore a GoPro for a little bit. Oh, this part made me upset. So I wore it to Fremont Street and I was trying to look at the battery indicator, but what I was actually looking at was the footage indicator to show how much more footage I could record on the GoPro.
Right. Uh-huh.
So I was thinking like, oh, my battery's so full. No, I was looking at the wrong little button.
Right.
And then I was like, shoot, I forgot my charger for the GoPro at home. So I went this whole time like record on Fremont Street, had like a third of my battery left and tried to use as much as I could the next day. Then I went through the trouble trying to find a cord at garage sales. I ended up buying a cord that didn't work for my GoPro and stuff like that.
Yeah.
On the last day, I found out I did bring the charger cord. It was just somewhere else in my suitcase. I was so mad. I was like, oh my gosh, I missed out on so much good footage. Anyways,
that stinks.
Yeah, so it was so fun to have load up in this van and go reselling with all these other people. It was really fun. We had a good time. And then there was the main event on Saturday night. Met a bunch of cool people like Ken SSK Promo. He brought headshots and signed them and handed them out. And I'm like,
I'm no good. When I saw that video, I was dying. I was like, he's hilarious.
I loved it. And then we got some stickers. I thought I'd just go through them. Well, I got a business card for it's Boss Reseller Remix, but it's also Katie and Vicky. I met them at the meetup. We got stickers from Resell to Ride. My husband stole one because they gave me 3.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I thought those were so cute.
Oh, I love
and this
them.
is actually from
I love her logo.
Yeah, I know, it's so cute. And then if you know the Hot Duke from the Discord server, this is a sticker from his store. I thought that was really cute. Kind of reminds me like
that's cool.
Someone mentioned like Red Hat Society. That's what it kind of looks like, but it says
Puss in Boots, but it's like a dog or something.
Like Grizz's secondhand dungeon. I thought that was super cute. SSK Promo sticker is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's that, skateboarding. I like that font.
Yeah. Their podcast, Tim and Jimmy.
Podcast.
We gotta get
stickers.
And then Jimmy Old School Flips gave me some stickers too.
Those are cool.
I would have got some from Graham and Pops, but I already had some. ABC Matt didn't give me a sticker, but I have some of his older ones without the QR code.
Yeah, that's what I have of his.
Oh, and I talked to Ken, SSK Promo. Sounds like they would like to do a little collab podcast soon. Because Jimmy, he's moving from Denver to Ohio, but after that, they're talking about maybe do a podcast collab. I don't know if like all 4 of us or if like we'll just switch like people, like you'll go to their show or one of us goes to their show and one of them comes to our show.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
that sounds cool.
And then they may have talked me into going to the reseller rally. I had so much fun in Vegas and everyone's like, oh, are you going? Are you going? I'm like, I don't have tickets. It's sold out. Yeah. And a couple people, Kevin came up to me. He's like, oh, talk to John Cincinnati Picker. Tell him who you are. Tell him you know me. Mention my name.
Drop Kevin's name.
Yeah. He's like, tell him you're a moderator for our Trash to Cash Discord server. Blah, blah. So I did all that. And then he messaged me back today saying they had cancellations and that I can go. I just got to pay for my tickets right now.
That's cool.
So I'm waiting on a response back on where to pay. So I think what we're going to do, it is September Reseller Rally 2023. September 30th from 6 to 11:30. I'm excited. Excited to go. It's a little pricey, $125 a person, but I think we're gonna drive. Well, here's our plan. That Friday before, I think we're gonna leave here. It's a 12-hour drive. Drive as much as we can. get there, stay for a couple days, like stay for the day of the rally and then maybe the day after.
Mm-hmm.
So I can maybe try to see if we can go garage sailing. Oh, actually, that doesn't work out because garage sales aren't on Sunday. I just realized that now. But our next thought was to head over to Pennsylvania because my husband has a friend there, and also I thought I could meet you too if that's close by wherever we're going. We're gonna keep going. No,
How far? Where in Pennsylvania? Because
um,
I'm on the other. I'm on the opposite end. Pennsylvania is like from what I'm like in Philly, and Pittsburgh's. That's like an 8-hour drive or something or
um,
more.
his friend is near Ford City. I think that's what it's called. Anyways, but our plan was to keep going
But
from
I mean,
Cincinnati through Pennsylvania, and we want to go to the East Coast because neither one of us have really been, except I've been to New York, but that's it. And then come back,
Mhm.
just do a giant circle. Since we're already there, it's like another 8 hours to the coast, and then come all the way back
Right.
home.
Well, depending on where you go, I can meet up with you for sure.
I don't know where Ford
I
City is.
didn't
I
know
think
if you were just. I'm
it's
looking now. I'm sure it's out
oh,
west.
that's even if his friend wants to meet, and also we have a friend in Maryland that maybe could come down and meet us too, because he'll be pretty close as
Yeah.
well. Anyways, so yeah, we're gonna kind of make it a little road trip,
Yeah.
which is a
That's.
little
Oh wow.
unexpected, but now I've got a lot
That's cool.
more ambition to like
Right.
sell.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, coming up this weekend's 2 citywides, and there's also a big it's called Bargains and Byways for Nebraska. It's a
Mm-hmm.
giant circle that goes around the whole state. That's this weekend too. So I think what I'm going to do is, because it's kind of close to me, so I was thinking of going the north route up as far as I can on
Mm-hmm.
Friday,
Yeah.
around come home, and then Saturday go like the south route, like the bottom part of the circle.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun.
That's cool.
I'm trying to think of what else has really happened. I need to like go through my video too to like see the little highlights I put out there, but
Mm-hmm.
um I got to meet, Kevin, Carrie, Dave. All of them were
Yeah.
super sweet. I got to meet their wives. Tina is so sweet. She is so nice.
Mm-hmm.
I got to meet Dawn, got to meet Kevin's wife. I don't even know if I know her name. Blue Ridge Mama. Got to meet her.
I think it's Heather, isn't it?
Actually, that might be it.
I mean, I
Ate
think
a ton of
I
good
saw
food.
them use it somewhere. He usually says Blue
Yeah.
Ridge Mama.
Who else? Got to meet, Jimmy and Ken. It was awesome. I had a really good time. Like, actually, after like everything was done and we started going home, I was actually kind of sad because I was like, "Oh, it's over." And it was so much. I was really tired, sleep deprived. My body hurt, my legs hurt, my feet
Mm-hmm.
hurt, but it was so much fun. It was so much fun to meet up with everyone and go and like try all this food and go experience all these things. And
Yeah. That's cool.
that's all I got.
Awesome. Good time.
How was you?
Next time,
And
maybe.
how was
I
you?
did hear.
Yeah,
I did hear Dave mention that next time might be in Florida, and I can get cheap flights from here.
there you go. And
I don't even
yeah,
have
I
to go
said
to
that'd be
Philly. I
cool.
just go to the regional airport here in Wilmington. They have like
I just
cheap flights to Orlando and
really
surrounding.
appreciate how easy it is to like come back home here and see how easy it is to drive everywhere. Vegas was like, oh, you need to just go up the street 5 blocks. Well,
Yeah,
that
but
might be a
5
30
blocks
minute
are
drive.
like yeah, exactly. And a Vegas block is not like a New York City block. It's
It
not
was
there's no standard there.
yes, and I would hope that if it is in Orlando or something like that, that it would be easier to get around, which I feel like it would be. I'm looking at Orlando now on the map,
I have
but
no idea. I haven't been to the last time the last time I went to Disney World. We went to Disney World when I was 17. My youngest sisters were
mm,
11. There was no Universal. It was just Disney and Epcot. I've been
now
to
it's a whole
Disneyland
big.
since, but I haven't been down there. Yeah. But all I know is I can get cheap flight from here. So I'm like,
That'd
"Oh,
be
I
nice.
could do that." But yeah, so if you drive out here, let me know where and I'll see if and when I can
Think
meet
we
you.
would go through, but anyways, as it gets
I mean, if
closer,
you're
we'll
coming
know
to the
better.
coast, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if
Let
we're
me
gonna
know.
want
That'll be
to
awesome.
go to the like near New York. I would. I have no clue. We still got to talk about it because we just found out
Yeah.
we're
Yeah,
going. Like
you're going,
it's
yeah.
happening.
That's
Um,
awesome though.
we are a little bit over flights though, because it's just my husband. He's very tall, and the
Yeah.
plane was not very comfortable for him.
Yeah.
It's a little crammed with leg room, and it was just flying. We were over it after we got home. We're like,
Yeah.
maybe not fly for another year. Which it's nice to have the convenience though, because it only took us like 3 or 4 hours instead of
Mhm.
16 hours,
Right.
which was
Right.
how long it would have taken to drive. But of course, you have to go through the mountains, which makes it a lot longer. But
I love to fly. I mean, my husband, we have a small plane. He flies all the time,
mhm.
but commercial, commercial flight is so expensive right now. I haven't flown. I went to Florida to a wedding several years back. I was still working. That was the last time we flew commercial. And my husband's tall too. We try and get him an aisle seat.
Mhm.
Oh man, I remember one time we were flying. I think we were going like across the ocean. We were going to Europe. And this guy, he had to been like at least 6'5" taller. And he was so crammed in there. I mean, this was a long time ago, but he was
Uh-huh.
so crammed in there. I felt so bad for him, but I was like, oh well. He didn't pay for that extra, the seat with no seats in front of it, or
Mhm.
he was on the aisle. So that's the one thing. If you get an aisle seat and you're tall, you can when they're not pushing a cart down, you can kind of stretch out a little bit.
Yeah. Um,
But yeah,
one thing we
it's a
did
tight
talk
fit for
about.
tall people.
Yes.
Right.
One thing we did talk about was, well, since we went Southwest, which was amazing because we could take back more bags, not have to be
Right.
charged, but we
Hmm.
thought about maybe if we fly again, maybe look into something a little more expensive but maybe a bit more comfortable,
Right.
like Delta or something
Hmm.
else. But overall experience wasn't bad. The flight back had some screaming children, but luckily they were way in the front and we were way in the back, so I couldn't hear them most of the time,
I
which was
know.
okay. Because
I
as we were
feel
sitting
I
there waiting
always
for the flight, they were just sitting there just screaming, and I'm like, "Oh boy,
well,
this
at
is
least
gonna
you
be a
didn't
fun
do. Did
flight."
you see what that guy did? Some baby was crying, and
Yes,
he threw a
he's
fit, and they had to
that.
land and take him off. I was like, dude, chill. That baby is like way has having a way worse time than you are. Like, I mean, it
He's
sucks,
like,
but
"Did he
now
pay
you've.
extra?"
I
Is
mean,
that what he said? He's like yelling.
yeah, something. It sucks, but like now you've inconvenienced an entire flight of people because they had to land. I mean, it sucks. It happens. I was on a flight once with there were twins in front of me, and I went to the West Coast. I was like going to Seattle,
Mhm.
and I don't know what mom and dad did, but they were like newborns or something. They were so small. They slept the entire time. Melatonin and
Hmm.
Benadryl. I don't know. They were small though, because they weren't like, they slept
Mhm.
almost the entire like 5+ hours out there because they were
Wow.
right in front of me. I was like, oh no. That's why
Oh.
you gotta get noise canceling headphones
Yep,
and
my
get some
husband
good
brought
tunes.
2 pairs just in
Hmm.
case, like,
Yeah.
for some reason. Cause
Hmm.
yeah, but yeah, so it was a fun flight. But yeah, I saw that article with that guy talking about that kid. Did he
Oh
pay
yeah.
extra?
I
And I saw that the
know.
morning we were leaving, I was like, or the morning we were getting ready to fly
Right.
out, I was like, oh no. And it's like, and it's on Southwest too. And I'm like,
Yeah. I'm like, dude, just you gotta suck it up. That whole plane of people, they had to get off, they had to
yep.
land for him. There's so much of that, like well, people have phones, so you see it more.
Hmm.
But there's so much of that, and I'm just like, man, these people. I'd be so ticked off if my flight was, you know, because of that.
And I'm
But
sitting here looking
anyway,
at the map of the US, seeing like how far we'll pretty much have to drive. And actually it's not that bad. Be hitting a lot of cities we've never been to.
that's
Like
cool. Road
Indianapolis.
trip, road trip.
Anyways, I'm trying to think what else. Do I have any photos? I need to look at my iCloud. See if like I know there's more stuff that happened that I was
Hmm.
like, ooh, I'm gonna talk about this in the podcast. And now that we're here, I'm like,
Well, if you
I
remember
can't
it later,
remember.
and you can talk about it later.
I did have 16 or 17 orders while we were gone, and I had taken my my store off of sale. So I'm like, if anything sells, it's going to be for full price.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So,
cool. Cool. So it's full price.
yep, got all that packed. I have it sitting
I
outside
don't.
right now for my post lady.
My store is starting to wake back up. Starting to wake back up. I've had a few sales trickle in every day. I had like
That's
little
good.
things that went out today, and I told you I couldn't get my act together, and I laid in bed for a long time, and I was like, I have a couple little things I can throw them in the mailbox. I don't have to drive to the post office. Mailman came early today. I wish he came the same time
Uh-oh.
every day. I went
I
out there
know,
at
it's so
1.
hard.
Usually doesn't come till like at like almost 3. Today, what time? I don't even know what time he came. I was like,
Yeah,
dang
mine
it.
usually comes around 2:30, 3 o'clock as
Yeah,
well.
that's when mine. But today was early. So I don't know if maybe it was a regular guy's day off or something, and but mine's starting to wake back up, and I've got tons of stuff to list because while you were gallivanting in Vegas, I went to sales. I had an estate sale on Thursday. Well, it was
Mhm.
like the whole weekend, but I went the first day. And this company, I overheard them. Their prices were pretty good. The one lady was like, it wasn't her, estate sale company. She's like working for this lady. So a couple of the prices she gave me, but it evened out. You know what I mean? But there was like one thing. Those hens on nests. Whenever I can get them super cheap, I buy them because they sell pretty quickly. They don't sell for a lot of money. It depends on the color, but I can usually get
Mhm.
about 20 lowest for them, 20, and then depending on the color, more. But I think it was a amber one. And she wanted 10 for it. I was like, no, thank you. But everything else, I got like 40 things for like $40. I don't know exactly how they priced everything, but I heard him say it was their first estate, like this company's first estate sale since the C word. But their prices, it was pretty good, and there was a lot. The house was pretty packed, and I got a lot of the stuff on that's here. I've been going through, and then I hit garage sale Saturday. And you were saying it was cool to be in a van and everybody jumps out. And I was driving because I was like, because he gets up earlier than me. I got up and I rolled out of bed at like 7:45, and the first one I went to was a neighborhood across the way, so at 8 o'clock. But I was like, "You want to go with me?" He was like, "No." I was like, because
Speaking of, oh, go ahead.
but that while I drove around, and I just by about it was a little before noon. I was like, I'm out of steam, and there was like more to go to, but I was like, I'm tired. I need something to eat. I
Mhm.
need some. What were we gonna say?
I was gonna say, my husband messaged me today. He's like, "I want to go to Citywides with you this weekend."
Oh,
I'm
cool.
like, I'm like, you mean like on Friday? Because sales here start Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah,
So I was planning on hitting the Citywides on Friday because there's two of them. The two towns are about 25 minutes apart.
yeah.
And he was like, I want to record because I think the YouTube bug has bit him being around all these other
Oh,
YouTubers
yeah,
for a few
yeah.
days. And
Uh-huh.
he's like looking into his channel he had, and he's like, I kind of want to start recording, but he doesn't know what. He doesn't like, picking and stuff like I do, but
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
he's like, "Oh, I want to go with and record." And I don't know if he means like help me record for my channel or what,
Yeah.
but he might go with me on Saturday, which is fun. I enjoy when he goes with me, but
That's cool.
I'm
Yeah.
also I like to circle around like a sale like 5 times sometimes, and
That's how I am.
he's
Yeah.
like couple look throughs and done type of person. So
Yeah.
maybe he'll go with me. I
There
don't
was a lot
know.
there was a lot of sales that were like tools and stuff. I was like, "Oh, I wish
Mhm.
you were there." He's like, "Oh, maybe next time." I mean, he doesn't it's not that he was just tired, and
Mhm.
he had to walk the dog and stuff, and he slept later. He's like usually up really early, but he slept later than usual. But yeah. But yeah, it's tired like so the first sale the first it was a lot of them were like community sales, so like neighborhoods have them.
Mhm.
The thing is that like my neighborhood or the neighborhood that I went to, there's hundreds of houses, maybe 5 have stuff out. So you're just driving around. You don't know where they are. You're just driving around.
Mm-hmm.
This and this one guy, um, he wasn't even turning his car off. He was like rolling up, jumping out, shouting out. Like, so I get to this one house, and I had seen him in a couple places. We were kind of following each other, and I got out at this one before him because I think he stopped where the tools were or something. I didn't stop. There was like lawnmowers, stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I get out, and she's got four of those, the singing. I don't have them up here; they're downstairs. My husband was putting batteries in them for me. The singing snowmen, the Hallmark things, like she had four of
Like
them.
the plush ones.
Yeah, and they
Uh-huh.
dance or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
played Christmas music. So, and they sell, and so she was talking to somebody else, so I'm waiting for her to finish so I can ask her how much. And he just rolls up, shouts, "How much for those?" And she goes, "5 each," right? And I was like, "Well, damn." And then she comes over to me and she's like, "Are you interested in them?" And she goes, "Yeah, 2 each." I was like, "I'll take them all." She's like, "Good. I'm glad they'll go to somebody that will enjoy them." I was like, "Well, I might enjoy them for a minute. I am going to resell them, but I'm not going to be an obnoxious jerk about it." Like, he saw me in front of him, like, "Hang on." Like, I
Yeah.
literally had one in my hand. I was looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw him a few more places, but um, and then yeah, he was obnoxious. Don't be
Speaking
obnoxious.
of Speaking of rude people at sales, we went to this one sale in Vegas. It was this huge, beautiful house, like
Mhm,
7 bedrooms,
mhm.
awesome things. Like there was a really cool like carved dragon like abacus, but it's carved out of jade and it was
Oh,
really
wow.
cool. They had a
Mhm,
lot of really cool pieces, really expensive pieces. There was this
mhm.
rhinestone fish purse that was like this big. They wanted 1200 for it. It was
Wow.
beautiful though. Anyways, we went in
Mhm,
and it was run by this company. There was these girls, younger girls, inside the house or out in the garage, like kind of
mhm,
helping. Went through and found stuff, and then there's the main checkout area. There's just this lady there, and she was just being so snobby, and I felt so bad. There was one guy that was rolling with us. I don't remember his name, but he was from California, I think LA. Um,
mhm.
he walked up, and they said they took Zelle. So he walked up with like $30 worth of stuff, and she's like, "Oh, it's a $50 minimum for Zelle." So he goes, scrambles to go find $20 more stuff,
Right.
goes up there, and the house, this for some reason, phone service in this area where we were was so crappy because none of us could get good signal. This guy, he sent Zelle payment to her or whatever, and she couldn't confirm that they got it. So he stood around for like 10 minutes waiting for confirmation. And this lady was so rude. And then there's this one other lady that was with us. Her name was Cheryl. She's from California. Or no, not California. Florida, Pensacola, Florida. She was with us shopping and she came up with all her little things in her hand and that lady like didn't even acknowledge her for like 5 minutes. I'm like, I don't know what it was, but this lady
Because
was
she
just
wasn't
rude.
buying the $1,200 purse. It's like the
Yeah, so
same
I
as
don't.
like some of those stores, like, "Oh, can you afford this?" Ooh.
And they over there, they collect tax at your estate sale. So you go, your total is $5, but they
Oh,
added
wow.
like 8.375% to it. And I was like, that I don't know if it's just Vegas, but
Yeah,
I've
I
never
don't
been
I
to a
mean,
sale like that.
I've never been to I haven't gone to an estate sale outside of Delaware, I don't think, where they did.
Yeah,
I don't I because
they
we
had
don't
cool
have
stuff.
sales tax, so
And
that's cool.
couple of cool things I found there that were pretty cheap was these hologram keychains. I found one that's a pendant form. It has like an eyeball on it. And I saw it on eBay listed for like 60 and then I had another one with like a little pyramid thing on it, which is cool. And I only paid $2 a piece for those at the sale.
Mhm.
Um I spent like I don't know how much, less than $20, but that lady was rude. We were almost wondering if like she was the owner of the house, but she wanted to like handle the money and just have all these other
Maybe,
girls
yeah,
working for her because she was like she
maybe.
would call them, she would yell for them, but it was also super unorganized because they just had random boxes of things like upstairs, like
Mhm,
that'd say $2 a piece or $1 a piece, whatever. People would come
mhm.
down with a handful of stuff and it'd be unmarked, and then she'd go yell at these girls, and be like, "How much is this?" Blah blah blah. I'm like, bring all the boxes near you so that way you can at least like keep track.
Right, at the
They
yeah.
had they had beautiful jewelry pieces. There was this one cuff bracelet. There was a peacock, really pretty. they wanted $15, and that's about what it was selling for on eBay, like 15 to 25. And I was like,
Yeah.
beautiful jewelry pieces though. Yeah, I don't know. We were all talking about it afterwards. Like that was our last sale. We were done after that. We're like, we're going home. we're, but it was still fun though.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you
Hmm
had like did you have one or two whole suitcases of stuff that you brought home?
I
Did you get,
had my personal suitcase. I squeezed some things in there.
yeah.
And then my carry-on, I had two breakable things. I had a ceramic cat and a ceramic it's like a Chinese dragon. It has a name, but I totally forgot what it's called. Wrapped them up in like my laundry and then put them in my
Yeah.
carry-on because I'm like, I don't trust them to like not throw my suitcase under the plane.
Right.
So I put it in there. So I had half my carry-on with that, and then another smaller suitcase with a couple pairs of shoes because I did
Okay.
come back with like 3 pairs of shoes.
No more shoes.
And then
Shoe problem.
I assume you saw the picture where I sent
Yeah.
my friend Corey's video, and she's like, "Oh no, I see you with the shoebox."
Your friend's
I
like,
was like,
no
"I
more shoes.
promise." Yeah. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty funny.
This is her friend that
Yeah.
helped her drag all her shoes to her trailer.
She helped me move
Lots
everything
and
out there
lots of
pretty
shoes,
much,
yeah.
but
But the
she helped me
shoes were a
sort
lot.
through all my shoes.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go.
Yep.
Lots and lots.
Almost debating like before this Cincinnati trip if I should have a garage sale because my friend she's moving away here in August,
Uh-huh.
so I'm wondering if before she moves, if maybe her and I could do like a collab garage sale. At like
Mhm.
I could supply the garage because she lives in an apartment. See if
Yeah,
she wants to do a garage sale, so that way like I can offload a bunch of stuff and get money for Cincinnati, and
right.
then she can sell stuff before she moves. I don't know, but there's also this there's an animal shelter here, and they're having like a little like vendor slash craft fair type thing where you
Mhm.
can rent a table. All you have to do is donate $20 to them. You get a like a booth, and you could put
Yeah.
whatever you want. And she's like,
Yeah.
"You should go take all your shoes and sell them there."
Yeah,
I'm like, "Maybe."
they have something like that here. Well, like
Hmm
a Grange started doing that, like having they call it a flea market, but it's and then there's like a Boy Scout troop does it like twice a year. I think it's like $10 a table. I was thinking about it, but I don't know. I'm not that organized.
It's more fun to do it like with a friend. If it was just me, I'd
Yeah.
kind of feel
Mhm.
like nah. But she offered. She's like, "I'll help you," and I'm like,
Right.
I think that's
Yeah.
here in May. I think at the end of May, here in about a month, I think. If so, I'll record. Um, now that I got the GoPro and got experience with it, I'm fine with recording at like big sales, like a church sale or something.
Yeah.
But walking up to individual garage sales, I don't know how I feel about it. But I'm like,
That
there's two
I
citywides.
didn't
That's a lot of content.
I didn't if my husband came with me, I probably would have
Hmm
wore it, but I didn't. So I had my phone and I would turn it on and I just did like this. I just held
Secretly,
it
like,
with my keys and I was just like do 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 do. So I haven't even looked at to see if it's even usable.
mhm,
But that's what I did at the garage sales. Yeah, I have no like at a like at church sales and stuff. I have no problem with that. There's a church sale this weekend and I'm glad it's Friday and Saturday because I can go Friday because Saturday I have to take someone to an appointment, my mom, and so I'm probably gonna I don't know. I think her appointment's like 9:30. She's getting like a shot, like a
mhm,
cortisone shot in her back. Oh, thank God. And then because it hurts, you know. But
mhm,
there's a big there's a big town. We don't have a lot of towns or around where I am
mhm,
because we're mostly just suburbs of the city of you know so there's not a lot of incorporated towns like I there's one so there's not a lot of town-wide sales but this is like an old little town but I don't know what they would have because this is horrible because of the residents. I don't know how else to
mhm.
say it. I don't know if there's gonna be anything good there. So I don't know if I'm gonna make it because it is a little farther away from me. And I'm taking her the opposite direction, and then I got to drop her off and then go down. So I don't know if I'll make it
Mhm.
on Saturday, but at least I'll get a church sale in on Friday. Um, I'm so tired after last weekend. I anyway, so and I didn't go to Vegas. I just stayed out too late. I had that, my paranormal group, and we investigated a haunted theater
Yeah, I saw that.
on Saturday night. And so they had like some sort of show going on, and it didn't clear out till they said, come at 9:30. Didn't clear out till like almost 10. And then it was I don't know what it was, comedy and magicians or something were going on there
Mhm.
that night. And the magicians were like taking forever because they had to pick up all their cards that were spread all over the theater. We're like, when are these guys going to leave? But so we didn't get started till 11. I didn't get home till 3. I was so tired on Sunday, and then I had to go somewhere Sunday. I had a busy weekend, not as fun as yours, but it was fun.
Did you find
But
anything,
I'm tired.
at your paranormal group?
Oh yeah. It was pretty
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah. We didn't look at the video yet, but lots of um footsteps where there shouldn't be. There was nobody there, so
Ooh.
that was cool. Yeah, it's pretty old. I mean, it's an old theater. There was like two other buildings there that burnt down at some point in time.
Mhm.
But it's like it's over 100 years old. But yeah, so it was cool.
The
But yeah, and
picture you
then
sent
I stayed up
reminded
last
me.
night playing video games too late.
Just
I'm too
staying up
old for
late.
this. Why did I stay up so late? I'm like in a perpetual stay up late cycle again.
That was me this winter, but, the
Yeah.
picture you sent of that theater reminds me a lot, the junior high school here used to be the high school,
Mhm.
but it has an old theater like that in
Mhm.
the school, and it looks a lot like that picture you sent, so it
It's
reminded
so
me of
funny
that.
you say that because the school I taught in for the longest, I actually went there when I was a kid. It's over 100 years old, and the theater isn't that old. Like there was add-ons, but it has a theater. The theater at my, because it used to be the high school and now it's a middle school. It
Mhm.
it's actually bigger than this theater, but it's just like that. It has the balcony, and yeah, but yeah, that was fun. So that was my weekend, but I got some cool stuff. So got my lava lamp.
Yeah, I like your little collection there, it's a lot of interesting pieces there.
We were talking about pottery, and I found some of that Bennington pottery.
Ooh.
They should sell. Although one of them, this one has a chip. I should have been able to get 40 for both of them, but I'll probably get a little
Ooh.
less. But that was a cool find. And then we were talking about like if you find like just cool pottery, like I don't know who made it,
Mhm.
but it's signed. I
Looks nice.
but it's cool. It's one of those like hand warmer mugs.
Ooh. I've never seen
But
one
yeah.
like that, that's kinda cool.
Yeah, you put your hand in it like that and hold it. It's got a pretty glaze on it, so. Oh, this is Bennington too. Some of this like a melted candle in there. I'm gonna try and get
Maybe
it
we could
out.
remove it, yeah.
Yeah, put it in the freezer.
So, one thing that kinda leads into the next thing we wanted to talk about, while we were at an estate sale, we actually saw
Oh.
the niche lady at the
Oh.
sale.
Ooh.
She was
Okay.
I didn't know who it was because
Okay.
other people came up to me and they're like, "The niche lady's here." And I was like, "Oh," because they were sitting there. I saw a lady. I just saw the
Yeah.
back of her head, and
Mhm.
then there was a guy sitting there with a, like a gimbal recording her with a phone.
Right.
I was just
Mhm.
like,
Yeah, she
"Oh,
has
it's
somebody
just,"
follow
I was
her
like,
around apparently.
"Yeah," and I didn't know that, but that kind of leads into you had mentioned wanting to talk about it. Like, not that I know either one of these people, and not that I have any ill will against either one of these people, but that it
Right.
is some drama happening in the reselling community that I didn't know much about until it was brought up in the Discord server. So,
Well, yeah. Well, I used to watch her like when I first, not when I first, but when I got back into reselling and I was like looking for people to watch, and she was one of the ladies. Now she's pretty big in with the vintage resellers, like a lot of people I watch. So I don't know. I'm just gonna say that I stopped watching her a while ago,
mhm.
and that a lot of things left a bad taste in my mouth, include when we talked about Facebook groups. A lot of times when I'm like being like, oh, some of these Facebook, it's
Oh.
hers can get really mean, and on the premise that it's a learning group, and that's fine. Like, I'm all for like learning groups, and I know people ask the same questions over and over again. Like, I
Mhm.
guess, I'm used to that. I guess, like, having been a teacher, I'm used to that. And I don't like when people get mean at people that, like somebody else say, I don't know what this is or whatever. And did you Google Lens it? Well, like, and you look at the profile, and it might be somebody that just doesn't, you know a lot about technology, or might not know how to do that. They might just have come, we joke around on Trash to Cash because like there's people on there and they're like, who's Dave? you know
Yeah. Who's
and it's
NC
like,
Picker?
right. And I mean, it's funny, but like some people do just come across it as a reselling group and not having watched the podcast, and they don't have like a pin, not that I know of. Do they have like a pin post or anything saying, hey, watch our pod? Like they should, you know,
I
go to
know
the
they post
podcast.
episodes sometimes in there.
They do, but if you just like if Facebook recommended it to you
Mhm.
and you joined it and you're like, oh, and you read a couple things, and sometimes people don't read the room and they don't get the how the group works first, you know, which you should do. You should absolutely 100% do. You join a group, don't jump in and ask something. Look at the rules and read the room, read posts, see how the group works first, see what the tone and everything is. But anyway, that group can get, it's very passive aggressive mean, I feel sometimes, and people jump down your throats about things, stupid things, like, like they're very pro packing peanuts, a lot of
Mhm.
people don't like packing peanuts. I hate packing peanuts. I mean,
I don't like them.
if I get them in something else and I have them, I might use them, but I don't usually use like a lot, like they're very anti-paper. I use paper, knock on wood, and bubble wrap, and I don't have any problems. But anyway, so if you say, oh, well, I pack this way, they get very, very mean about it. There's no other way. Like, there's other ways to do things. Just because you may have been doing it for 25 years doesn't mean, I feel like that's the same thing people would say to teachers. You've been doing it that way for this many years, because they say teachers don't want to change. It's kind of the same thing. But anyway,
Mhm.
so I, well, I haven't watched in a while, and but I watched Mikey Bags of Money and Sunny Las Vegas. Did you meet Sunny Las? Was he there?
I did. He's
Mhm.
so sweet.
Isn't
He
he
is so
just like
nice.
seem like the
Yes.
sweetest thing ever? I mean, I only just watch him, but I mean, I don't know how you could be mean to him. And Mikey, seems like a sweetheart too, but like apparently don't cross him because he's mad. So
Really.
well, they had the a thrift store was opened, and um I know both Mikey and Sunny's wives have some health problems. I know that the store where they had the booth is, because I know Vegas is pretty, when you talk Vegas, you might live in a neighborhood, it's pretty spread out,
Mhm.
So, um, I know that I don't think they live close to the store. So it was hard for them to get there as much as they wanted to. Um, and then I because she owns it and she has a channel, I guess she had some rules about when you could release a video. Like, she wanted her video out first.
Mhm.
And even Mikey said that, he goes, that's fine. He goes, but this is his business too, the channel and reselling. And so there was a lot of factors that went into he was going to leave. And then Sonny's wife had some health problems, and so they both decided to leave. And then some other crap went down, and I'm not sure what, but her other friend left and her manager. So
Oh.
the store
Hmm.
manager left. Yeah.
I was
So
just curious
I don't
as far
know.
as, her channel. I don't know how long ago this happened. It sounds like it's pretty recent, like this month.
Mm-hmm.
I was just
I'm
looking at
not,
her subscriber count because I watched one of the videos you had linked, and I saw a bunch of people like, "Oh, I unsubscribed, blah 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 blah," or other people like, "I'm subscribed to all of you. I love all of you, blah blah blah
yeah,
blah."
uh-huh. And
And
that's
it looks
fine.
like she did. She did have lose a few hundred, but it I feel
Uh,
like,
well,
in the reselling
Nike's
community, you could do
yeah.
something pretty crappy, but still have viewers because there's people that still enjoy the content.
And that's why I watched her. I like watching people shop, and even though like because I think it's kind of fascinating like sometimes what people pick up, and I'm gonna be honest with
Mhm,
you. Sometimes she picks up really good stuff, and sometimes she picks up something that I'm like, that is like something like some cheap knickknack, like it's but whatever, to each their own, like taste, right?
mhm,
I guess some of my problem, like I didn't she gives advice on her lives and stuff, and I didn't really watch them. Part of my problem is that I don't think she's really sold on eBay in years, and she's constantly like selling herself as like this eBay expert. And eBay goes through ups and downs and changes and everything, and I don't know that you can, if you don't have an consistently active store. I don't
mhm.
know if anybody, like, I'm not telling you I'm an eBay expert. I'm just going to tell you what I do, what I find out, and if I make a sale here and there, but at least I have
So, is she
stuff up.
basically just like a whatnot seller, or
She So during COVID, a lot of these vintage resellers too, and
Mhm,
some bulk resellers, like, started having YouTube shows when everything was shut down and selling stuff that way. I think we talked about this before, so some people's, because when we were talking about auctions, and like in some states you have to have an auction license. So most people don't say it's an auction when they're doing it. They call it an offer up, who's going to give the
mhm.
biggest offer. So a lot of them started doing that. There's other resellers that do, excuse me, like bulk buys. Like there's Donatella, um and T. They do together. They buy storage units. They buy like big lots of stuff, and then they'll sell lots of stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like they bought some collectors storage unit, and they have like all these. They just shoe boxes full of baseball cards. They'll just, okay, I got like 5 boxes of baseball. They just sell like that, and they all started doing that during COVID. But that's when I was like looking for like reselling content. A lot of that stuff came up, and like I like vintage things, so I like started watching some of the vintage year channels. I just, yeah, I don't. So I mean, just I I don't know. I don't know. All
I don't
I
have much to
know
say about the
is
whole situation. It
when,
sucks,
yeah.
that it's hard to be friends and go into business together,
Hmm.
or even family.
Yeah.
So,
Um. Oh
to each
yeah.
their own. I hope, all everybody succeeds, but it
Yeah.
just, kind of like as a warning, like if you are a reseller and you wanna go into business with another person, really think about it because
Right.
it could
Make
end up
sure
like
there's
that, and
no
then all of a sudden you don't have
red
those friends
flags.
anymore. Yep,
Hmm.
that too.
Yeah. Make sure there's no warning signs or red flags, which I think they've alluded to. It kind of was getting to. I feel bad for them because I feel like they feel a little betrayed. Like,
Mhm,
they made a conscious decision based on a lot of different things. This is what it seems like from their end. Now, I can't speak. I really only at the moment know one side of the story, but four people are telling one side of the story. You know what I mean?
mhm.
So,
Has she
um,
said anything, or
oh,
has it just been
well,
like quiet?
that's the part. Like, I feel that's why they've spoken out, is because they're getting trashed, you know, by not just, like, I think she said some stuff on her followers. So I think that's why they spoke out, because really they weren't like, Sunny didn't say hardly anything, you know? Sunny didn't say anything. It was just that they had to go because, you know, eh, um of life things, and like I said, they both of their spouses have health problems, and that's a hard thing. I've thought about. I haven't even looked into like what. There's only a couple antique mall kind of things around here, and I don't really think I have enough stuff that would, fit. Because they are more antique malls and not kind of the, you know, antique vintage. You know what I mean? That like a little
Mhm.
less of that vibe. But I think that's hard work. You got to keep up the stuff. Like that's who mostly I see out at estate sales and garage sales. They're like they're the people that do those things. But it's hard work, and if it's a drive and you have somebody that's ill, it's hard. And like I said, they neither of them really said anything. Their stuff came out apparently after some things that were said, and I feel bad for them because I think they just kind of wanted it to, just they just wanted to go on with, and then poor Sonny did that. He did a live and he was so
I felt
upset.
bad
And
when yeah,
yeah.
I whenever, someone's talking about something very serious like that and they start getting
Hmm.
emotional, then I start
Yeah,
getting emotional, and then I
I
start feeling their
know.
pain. I felt so
Sympathetic
bad.
crier,
Yes.
empath. So
Yeah, so
anyway,
I was feeling bad.
yeah, that was another way I spent spend my weekend, is like kind of like a little bit digging. I, Look, I like a little bit of God. I like a little bit of it,
Some tea.
Hmm. I like a little bit of it sometimes. Every once in a while, it keeps things spicy, but I do feel bad for them. So I don't know. We might hear that's what's going on in the reselling world. When you think
You
it's
don't really
all
hear a lot of drama. It's usually like,
no, that's what I'm saying.
last time I
It's
heard something
usually
big was when like Harry Tornado had returned something to a store
oh
that
yeah,
had
that was a bit
something
yeah.
something
Hmm.
about that. People
Yeah,
threw a fit. That was like the last big thing that I heard, but
right. And
it's
that wasn't
what
even
it.
that. I mean, it was a drama, but it wasn't a drama between former friends. You know what I mean? This is like reality TV going on.
Yeah.
So
So
we'll
just advice,
see. But
don't
I do like those two, and just be careful out there with
even something as little as like consignment with people. Like
yeah.
it could be something as little as that. It doesn't have to be you buying a booth at your friend's store. It could be even as little as you doing a consignment for a friend. Just make sure you're on the same page.
Yep,
You trust
exactly.
this person.
Exactly.
You know, like
Mhm.
I personally, like for me doing consignment, I only do it for like my mother-in-law. There's a couple close family friends, my mom, and that's about it.
I don't even
There's
do
other
it.
people that are like,
My mom just gives me all the stuff she doesn't want. She doesn't want any money for it. So I'm like, I'll give you half. She's like, I don't care. Just get it out of my house. I'm like,
most of the
okay,
time it's me like I'll my mom will
free.
give me stuff, or um like I'll see something that's actually worth money that I know she has. So I'll tell her and she'll be like, "Oh, if you want to sell it for me, take half or whatever.
Yeah. Hmm.
Whatever the agreement is."
Right.
Um
Kitty.
Ninja is here. He's very happy. He was so happy that we came home.
Oh, yeah.
He
I
just wants to be held and pets and get the chin scratches and
bet.
all that. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have much else. Trying to see if I had anything else from Vegas here, but on my desk. But I need
I
to
got I got
get
one
some work
more.
done.
I got one more
Oh,
cool thing for like I think I paid it's Dusty. A Jemmy, and it works.
ooh,
He shakes his booty. It needs new batteries because yeah, there he goes. It's kind of getting like how they get kind of slow.
yeah,
He shakes his butt. But I
that's
was like,
funny.
oh, he's in really good condition. I only paid $4 for it. I think I saw. I haven't gone through all this stuff. I think I saw it for like 50. I could probably get about 50 for it. Probably closer to Christmas, but I'm okay. I can sit on it for a while. I found a lot of
And I
good
need
Christmas
to.
stuff. So
There was some Christmas at the one estate sale, but I didn't pick any of it up. But Happy Picker found these little tiny blow molds. I had picked them up and I saw the price tag and it looked modern, so I put it back down. But she picked them up, and
uh
they're
huh,
actually might be worth some money. But they're just like this tall
uh
little blow
huh.
molds. Um, last week I picked up my first blow molds ever. They're these Halloween bears. They've got like a little mask and a little costume on.
Okay, I
2
think
of
I've
them.
seen this before, yeah.
Yep. I didn't
That's
put in
all
my
I ever
videos
find
because
is,
it's out in the garage, but
I've only ever found, Halloween, light up.
mhm.
Not big, just pumpkins and ghosts, like, the tabletop size.
Oh, and I
That's
even
all I've
found like
ever
a
found with
little
pumpkins.
one. It's like a polar bear and it says joy on it and it's just this
Oh,
big,
that's
but it
sweet.
doesn't have the light, but it is the blow mold itself.
Oh, you
So,
can you can get a light. That's not a that's,
yeah. I mean,
that's
just the mold
easy.
itself it should sell for around 50 as far
Yeah,
as I could tell.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, lights are no big
Hey,
deal.
buddy.
I'm trying to think if
Um,
I got anything else good. Oh, and
yeah, I need
that's what
to
I found. I got some I found like 4 Annalise at that estate sale. I think this guy's pretty
I've
old.
never heard of that.
They're these sorry. They're these weird looking dolls. They have all
Uh-huh.
kinds. Be on the lookout for them. They have all kinds of there's the tag. Can you see it? I can't get it out of
Is it
his
just red and white?
arm. It just depends, like, because they make modern ones,
Okay.
and this one's like vintage, but I don't know. What's this one? 1971. That was an excellent year. Uh, so he's kind of worn, but he's old. So like me, the he but they can go for. I mean, they could be $20, or they could be um. But I got them for a couple bucks each at that sale. So, I I've sold some for like I sold a rabbit one or something for like 70
Mhm.
or 60 or something a while back, that I got for like they had it in the toys at Goodwill for like $1.99. But yeah, that's a lookout on the lookout for them.
That's something I didn't ever know
Annalise.
about, so that's
Yeah.
a cool
They
one.
have those like printed on weird faces, and some of them are really the Christmas ones are probably the least offensive, if you ask me. The They have the least offensive faces, but some of them
Mhm.
are really ugly. Like, it's no offense if you collect Annalise, good for you, but oh, she's even older, 1963. Um, they're not my cup of tea, but I will sell them to you. So yeah, so it was a good. I had a good sourcing weekend. Good sourcing
I did
weekend.
too with what I could fit in a
Yeah,
back or a
yeah,
suitcase,
for being
but,
away.
just because I know how crazy this weekend's going to be, I'm gonna try to get as much as I can. I have 25 listings left for this month because I still have the basic store or the
Okay,
starter
yeah,
store, so I
starter,
still only
yeah.
get the 250 a month.
Hmm.
Um,
You're
so
gonna have
my
to need
plan
to
is to
bump
get
that
as
up soon.
I know if I end up getting a bunch of inventory, I might bump it up for those few months, and then once it gets back to winter, go back down
Hmm.
because I really haven't been sourcing a ton, but now that I have the trailer, I might.
Yeah,
But my plan's to list, get a bunch of drafts made, so that way once the month resets, I'll get a bunch of stuff listed and trying to focus on the higher dollar stuff first. So that way I can kind of get
yeah,
that flowing back in again
mhm.
and hopefully break some records this summer. That's my goal.
Yeah. That's why I gotta get this stuff hopefully listed this week, and get my store moving. Like I said, sales are starting to trickle back. I
Oh,
can't.
and
It's so weird. It's just so weird that I went on vacation mode like almost the same time last year, and I made a bunch of sales, and I this vacation mode just killed me for. It's been two
I still
weeks
made
now.
I can't complain. It was enough sales for me. Like it was
Yeah.
just I wasn't I wasn't like, "Oh, I don't have any sales." But I just want to get things moving. Put
Right.
my whole store back on sale again and hoping to get some stuff
Did you get
going.
any? He didn't give any Commonwealth stickers. Speaking of getting things moving,
You know what? I don't think I did. I don't think I didn't get
rude.
any. I don't know if he had any, if he brought any, but and I also had some ink picker stickers, but I gave them the Tina
Uh-huh.
because I asked her, I'm like, should I give him to Dave or should I give him to you? Because I'm like almost thinking he might lose them. And so I gave him to her. And so hopefully there'll be an inked picker shelf showing up at Dave's house.
I already got an ink picker shelf at my house. I keep forgetting to like take a picture because I did that before him.
Maybe if you start making some content. Oh,
I
speaking of,
know.
since
I have video. I just need to
need to get it edited,
look and see if it's usable.
even if it's just a short video,
Yeah,
still
I'm gonna
good.
try.
One thing I was gonna do is I made TikToks on an inked picker account
Okay.
along like a year or two ago. I was posting pretty
Mhm.
frequently. My friend said I should download them and put them as shorts on YouTube, which I
Right.
might. But they are old videos. Like you could tell my hair's different. Instead of it being half and half, my whole front of my head was pink instead.
Okay.
Like
Uh-huh.
my bangs, all of it
Yeah,
was pink
but that's
instead.
content, so it gets
It's still, yeah, it might get me more views. And since a lot of us were content creators and shouting each other out on Instagram and YouTube, I grew like 15 subscribers in the past couple days since getting
awesome.
back. Because now
Awesome.
that people are putting out videos and
Mhm.
then like featuring you in it or whatever,
Right.
it's everyone's like sharing all their subscribers, which is super cool. So
That's awesome.
yeah, that's all I got. I mean,
Yep. Time to
I'm already
go.
worn out, but I'm
The
trying
list.
to keep going so that way I just at least get tired by bedtime and keep the early mornings going because I know that's what's gonna.
I know. I gotta get back into. Well, I had early mornings and late nights. That's my problem.
Same thing with Vegas. I'm like still. I feel like I need to catch up on sleep, and I'm still not caught up yet. So,
I'm never
uh,
caught up. But yeah, I'm gonna get listing, get things going over here. But yeah.
all right.
Alrighty. Everybody have a good weekend. Hope
Yes.
your sourcing is sweet and
We'll
your
see you next
sales are
week.
good.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.